Why blame the BJP if you can't keep your flock together?
I think you have asked me the very pertinent and relevant question. In fact, our government came into power in 2016. Congress DMK alliance government came in Puducherry. And before we took oath of office, Dr. Kiran Bedi was appointed as the Lieutenant Governor. Then for 6 months, there was smooth functioning of the government. And thereafter, Madam was interfering in the day-to-day administration, not clearing the files, not allowing the projects and schemes to be implemented very effectively. Therefore, we tried to persuade her. And we told her the legal position. But unfortunately, she was not amenable. And for more than 4.5 years, it was a struggling period for our government. But in spite of it, we were able to deliver to the people of the state.
Sir, I'm going to interrupt you only for 1 minute, because what does Dr. Kiran Bedi, with whom you still seem to have nightmares, it seems that you still think of her. She has left your state. She's gone back to Delhi.
No, I understand.
What does she have to do with 6 of your MLAs defecting, as a result of which your government toppled?
No, let me come to it, because I'll have to tell the background before the people to understand. Because she did the damage in the administration, and thereafter she left. Therefore, she cannot get an excuse that I already left Puducherry. Secondly, you asked me the very important question that the 6 of your MLAs have defected, though it is, you are claiming that it is a politics of poaching. It is unfortunate. Puducherry is a very small state and homogeneous, and it is development-oriented state. It is not the toppling bid of my government started about 1 month back. I would like to tell you the background. Within 1 year of my government formation, the Honorable the Home Minister, who was the BJP president at that time, he came to Puducherry. He had interaction, discussion with the local party. And the local party leader, who is the leader of the opposition, he was planning to topple our government at that time itself. 1 year after our government was formed, by skillfully we were able to manage the situation, and it continued. Thereafter, from time to time, there were attempts by the local NR Congress leaders, AIDMK, and RSS leaders from Chennai. They were targeting my government. And now latest addition in that is the Karnataka BJP leaders. They landed in Puducherry in helicopter with bag full of money to topple our government. And not stopping with that, they called the MLAs, they called the speaker, they called ministers in Delhi, summoned them to Delhi, and threatened them that if you don't do whatever we say, you'll have to face the consequences. This kind of tyranny, this kind of atrocious activities, in a democratic country like India, I have never seen.
No, Mr. Chief Minister, you're making very serious, former Chief Minister, you're making serious allegations. You're saying Karnataka BJP MLAs came on choppers with money. You are claiming that some of your MLAs were called to Delhi and threatened by no less than the Home Minister of the country or by senior BJP leaders. I am told some of these leaders have income tax cases against them. Some of them have land issues. Am I correct?
Yeah, because I tell you, I was...
You have proof? You have proof that people came in a chopper with money?
My proof is that the people who have been summoned to Delhi, they told me. What more proof you need?
No, how do you...
Today, tomorrow they may say, no, I did not say. But those people who were summoned to Delhi, they confided in me that they have been called and they have been told that whatever you have to do, otherwise you have to face the consequences. Because I will not be afraid of telling the truth anywhere in the country. Because always truth triumphed. In my political life and public life, I was also minister in Government of India. I was also member of Parliament. I have not seen any kind of intimidation, threatening, using the income tax, using the Enforcement Directorate and CBI to corner the MLAs and ministers in my lifetime.
Okay, let GVL Narasimha Rao has heard you patiently. Mr. Rao, why don't you respond? These are very serious allegations being made. MLAs being called to the Home Minister's office, being threatened with income tax and Enforcement Directorate inquiries. And according to Mr. Narayan Swamy, Karnataka BJP leaders coming in a chopper with bagfuls of money, simply to topple a government in Puducherry.
Rajdeep, I think, with due respect to Narayan Swamiji, I think what he said can make possibly a good script for Tamil film. It is not based on reality, it's all a figment of imagination. First of all, anyone who who applies common political sense will understand that we are on the verge of an election. First of all, it is the disaffection within the Congress party, disgruntlement of the members of the Congress party, the MLAs, the MPs, leaders, national leaders, possibly leaders of opposition. All of them are disgruntled. So it's a rot in the Congress party which is really eating away the Congress party at its base. And if MLAs MLAs leave on the eve of an election, they don't leave to enjoy power. They do it to survive politically. Then when they know their party is a sinking ship, when they have been a part of a government that has really become extremely unpopular, their re-election is impossible. That is when they jump the ship and want to board a winning horse. You see that in every other state.
Sure, sir, but a winning horse called the BJP, which in Puducherry has had no previous, it's not a state which is a BJP bastion in any way. You haven't had a single MLA in the past. How come suddenly MLAs just before an election seem to want to move to the BJP, many of whom have cases against them?
No,
how is it that you seem to pick and choose those MLAs against whom there are cases always, and the moment they enter the BJP, all those cases are automatically seem to disappear?
We are not picking anyone. I think everyone in the Congress is waiting for an opportunity to quit the party. Everyone is waiting because they know.
Let him finish.
Because they know this party has no future. Their leader is simply their leader, and the family today doesn't have any hold over the party. It's directionless party, rudderless Congress party. They are worried about their own future. That's why they are leaving and going everywhere. We may not have had MLAs even in Bengal. Today we are the favorite.
So you're saying, Mr. Rao, you're not inducing the MLAs. The MLAs on their own volition don't want to be with the Congress party.
You see, I'm a member of a political party. I'm a member of parliament. I've been an election analyst for decades, you know that.
Yes.
I think the political leaders, the first thing they worry about is their political future. And an MLA, somebody who's been elected an MLA in Puducherry Assembly, he would want to be in that position. He would want to get re-elected. He will quit the party on the eve of elections only if he thinks his party has no future. So they have themselves given a verdict that Congress is going to be routed in Puducherry.
Mr. Narayan Swamy,
I tell you.
You are a sinking ship. Nobody wants, all the rats are deserting a sinking ship.
I tell you one thing.
You are the only captain left.
I tell you one thing. No political party is a sinking ship. Today, Dr. Narasimha Rao thinks that he is in an illusory world. I would like to make it very clear. Every political party has got its future. And as far as Congress is concerned, it will bounce back. I am confident about it. First of all, he was telling that the people who deserted because they have no future and all in this party. There are other political parties in Puducherry, as you rightly observed. They could not get even one MLA in 2016 elections. They contested 18 seats. All of them lost the deposit. that party nominated 3 MLAs who are RSS cadres in the nomination because the power rests with the central government. And at the fag end of the period, what Narasimha Rao ji is telling, the fag end of the term, there are 5 days to go for the election commission to announce the election. What is the hurry for you to topple our government?
No, 1 minute. The flip side
How
of
are we
no, the
toppled?
flip side of that, Mr. Narayan Swamy, is why should someone defect with 5 days left for the election commission to announce a new election unless they know that they are going to be defeated in the new election?
No. It is not like that. It is. I tell you one thing. Because the people have been coerced, threatened, they have been told that cases will be filed against you. This kind of thing, because the entire people of Puducherry, they know it. It is not me. The people know it. People who have been enjoying power for about 4 years and 10 months, why suddenly they are disappointed? They should have gone 4 years back. They should have gone 3 years back. They should have gone even last year.
I will answer
And
that.
those people who are deserted, who went because of intimidation and threatening those people by BJP leadership, because as I told the background of the matter, because it is not a hidden agenda. It is a open agenda. The people of Puducherry, entire people of Puducherry, they know what the design they have been doing, what the BJP is doing in Puducherry state.
Let GVL respond. GVL, you want to respond? Again, the charge which is being made is that this is the politics of inducement to bring down our elected government.
Rajdeep, first of all, don't use the word topple. Topple not by somebody outside. If anybody has toppled it, the Congress party itself toppled its government. There is no external inducement, because if it had to be an inducement, you could have said this if the government had fallen 4 years ago. If there was power to enjoy. We are now going to face the electorate, and we will certainly come back winning hands down, because people have huge hopes in a BJP government, in an NDA government, where BJP will be a partner. Take my word, there will be an NDA government with BJP having a sizable numbers in the next assembly in Puducherry. And everyone wants to be a part of it. Why should we say no to anybody?
Is part of the problem, GVL Narasimha Rao, the fact that there is now a perception, and this has been built with several state governments starting way back in 2016 with Arunachal, when there was wholesale defection, when an entire government of Prema Khandu, and Mr. Narayan Swamy knows because he was general secretary there, moved suddenly from Congress to BJP. Then you've had instances like in Goa, where you were not the party number 1, yet broke the smaller parties or allied with the smaller parties, broke the Congress, formed a government. Then in 2019, you come back and form a government in Karnataka. In 2020, you topple a government in Madhya Pradesh, and now in Puducherry. So it's not an isolated case. There seems to be a pattern where the BJP looks for vulnerable Congress governments and topples them. I know you don't like the word, but give me a better word than toppling for a government that is elected or has a majority, which is then, through defections, removed.
No, a government which loses its majority becomes a minority government, and it's not necessarily always because of something happening outside.
No,
There
who
are
is
splits.
responsible
First
for
of all, Raj, one second, Narayan Swamiji. See, in Karnataka, how are we not eligible to be? We had the mandate. And you have no problem if Congress and a defeated party teams up with the Janata Dal Secular. 2 defeated parties really form a government. You find that to be a bona fide action. Whereas BJP forming a government legitimately.
No, you
with
have every
MLAs
right, sir, you have every right to form a government, but the governments are done by engineering defections.
No, but you see, certainly a state requires a stable government. And we were in the best position to give a stable government in Karnataka.
In Madhya
we had
Pradesh-
the number.
In Madhya Pradesh,
In Madhya Pradesh, they had no better numbers. We were more or less on the same numbers. They were
But you
slightly,
engineered
marginally
defection.
ahead.
But you engineered
No, it's
defections.
not, Rajdeep. I think I will make it very plain and simple. It is not our job to keep the Congress party united, stable, and keep a falling ship. It's not our job to keep them united. They have to look after their party. We have not been given job to keep the Congress united.
Narayan Swamy, that's a good point, because I can go back to the era of Indira Gandhi, where Indira Gandhi used to engage in the worst form, many believed, her governments of wholesale defection, which eventually resulted in an anti-defection law being brought into the country. So it's not that the Congress can claim moral high ground that this has only started after 2014 or 16. The fact is, particularly in small states like Puducherry, Governments are vulnerable. 3 or 4 MLAs defect, a government can be
No,
toppled.
only 4 of 10 governments so far completed their terms.
In fact, I tell you one thing. Because in the system that has been adopted by BJP, is very clear to the people. They purchase MLAs, tell them to resign, then get them re-elected. This is one agenda. The second is to topple a government, take the people outside the state and keep them in an isolated place and topple a government. What happened in Manipur? You forgot to tell Manipur. Manipur, the MLAs, Congress MLAs have been taken by army helicopter. And apart from that, they tried their level best in Rajasthan. They failed there. They tried in Maharashtra. They failed there.
No, but why?
But
But the argument GVL Narasimha Rao is making is that it is not the job of the BJP to keep the Congress together. If Jyotiraditya Scindia wants to leave in Madhya Pradesh, if there are people in your Puducherry government who want to leave you and side with the NRC or with the BJP, they have every right to do so.
no, I entirely agree with one point that we have to keep our flock together. In a democratic country like India, every political party, every government has to function within the constitution and the rule of law. What they are doing, misusing the power, using money power, and thereby making defection, because they are in the power at the center, misusing the official machineries. One MLA told me, because he did not join that party, one man who is not an MLA, who is going to be the prospective candidate in the Congress party, he was called. Income tax officials have threatened him. And thereafter, within 2 days, he went to another political party taking risk. Why I am telling this? Because this is not a hidden agenda of BJP. It is widely known to the people of this country.
But why do so many of your MLAs have income tax and enforcement problems?
No, they don't have. I tell you one thing. Few income tax they paid, but foisting cases against them. There are certain people who are doing real estate business. Those people have been cornered. That is how, because you cannot, Narasimha Rao, I am telling you one thing. You cannot put everything under the carpet. The people of this country know you have sinister design to topple the democratically elected government, especially targeting the opposition ruled states, because you wanted to have one party rule in the country. Even in your dream, it is not going to happen. The people of this country they have totally decided.
Mr. Narasimha Rao, you must answer this. Let's be clear. The Enforcement Directorate and the income tax are being misused. How is it that the same income tax department drops the cases against an MLA or an MP the moment he defects? Your home state of Andhra Pradesh, you among others claimed that there were a couple of MPs in the Rajya Sabha from the TDP. You said that they are completely corrupt. The moment they joined the BJP, nobody hears about their corruption charges anymore.
No charges have been waived. No charges have been removed against anybody. All those cases, whatever are there, they will run.
Sir,
But let me tell you, I'm really surprised about what Dr. Narayan Swamiji is saying. He was in Delhi for many years. If I remember correctly, he was a minister in the PMO.
Yes,
he was. He was very close to the party leadership. And he's speaking as if Congress is a holy cow. And he is now trying to attribute everything that Congress does to the BJP. Both of you. Swamiji, let me complete. Let me just one minute. No, just one minute. Okay? When you were, in all probability, you were a minister, possibly in the PMO. You were a journalist. There was cash for vote scam in Parliament, and Manmohan Singh ji won his trust vote through the cash for vote scam. It's the biggest bribery scandal in India. And my namesake PV Narasimha Rao ji's government also, you have heard of JMM scam. There were several such. So this is the typical Congress party's. This is Congress party's typical.
But GVL, you cannot use that to say that because the Congress did it.
No, we are not doing it. No, because they do it. They make those allegations against us. We are a party under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. We have expanded We have expanded all over the country. Puducherry also will have a NDA government.
Sir,
West Bengal will have NDA government. And they are therefore making these
Sir,
false allegations
okay,
against
I
us.
have some statistics. Political defections, ADR report. Between 2016 and 2020, 182 of the 405 recontesting MLAs who switched political parties joined the BJP, followed by 38 who joined the Congress. Of the 405 MLAs who defected, 170 were from the Congress, only 18 BJP
But
legislators
Rajdeep,
switched
I
parties.
think it's
The BJP seems... the
it's a no-brainer. If we are a winning party, we are winning state after state, we are winning national elections, we are expanding our vote share, we are winning every by-election in the country, it's natural that any political leader who wants to have a future would look towards BJP. You can't ration that every two persons who defect, one should go to Rahul Gandhi and only one should go to BJP. There is no rationing system that works here.
Okay, you want to... You see, it is coming down. They know how to use power. You perhaps...
Public power. Public power.
I would like to tell you, it is not using power. It is misusing power. I was.
They are the winning side. He says they are the winning side.
See, when you are in power, you can do anything and everything. But we have to answer in the people's court. Let me make it very clear.
He says they are winning. He says they are winning
No,
Puducherry.
Yes.
Today it may happen. It is not going to be permanent. To make it very clear, I was minister in PMO. I was CBI minister there. I never misused official machinery as a minister to take revenge upon any political leaders.
The CBI was...
I
the
think
CBI was...
there are dozens of such cases. Mr. Narayan Swamy, maybe you were not informed. Look at the cases in Gujarat.
As Rajdeep said, 1 minute.
Gujarat, every police officer was arrested only for political...
As Rajdeep has said, that what you are doing, what BJP is doing, yeah, the list he has read here is very clear. Because you are using money power, you are using your power at the center, and you are trying to topple government.
So you're
saying,
saying when you were in charge of CBI, you made no attempt to topple a BJP government. The truth is the CBI was called a cage parrot by the Supreme Court when Manmohan Singh government was in power. Are you telling me that at no stage was the CBI used to hound rivals? This is the old Indian theory.
Please quote an example where we interfered in the political investigation of CBI in any case.
Every investigation was handled from 10 Janpat.
BJP, now CBI has become the B team of BJP. Using it as enforcement directorate and income tax. They are at the pagan
So
call.
they were a cage parrot when you were in power. Now they are a B team. What is the difference?
No, I'm telling you the ground situation. Because I have not witnessed this kind of defection by using the money power and also the power at the center, using the central machineries to threaten the MLAs and ministers, speaker, by any government. This is atrocious.
Okay, I want to quote GVL Narasimha Rao, what your former two-time Himachal Chief Minister Shanta Kumar says in his autobiography. I feel ashamed that my party got involved in the sale and purchase of MLAs. People made the BJP the world's largest party due to its value and idealism. It has now become power hungry. Why not accept? You know, just as they need to accept that they, when they were in power, also at times did not follow constitutional democracy, you could argue that, misused agencies. Why not accept that you too have done the same? This is your senior leader saying this.
We have not done the same. I think you can't put
What is the difference?
BJP,
you tell me what's the difference between BJP under Narendra Modi and Congress under a Manmohan Singh. You seem to be following Indira Gandhi's playbook.
No, absolutely not. Because at that time you had seen how governments were toppled, how governments were dismissed. Hundreds of governments. Even Puducherry, it's not BJP hand behind this. If these MLAs wanted to join BJP, they could have continued until election and
suddenly
can I just complete, Swamiji? They could still have switched to BJP and contested on a BJP ticket. They didn't have to leave 1 week before or 1 month before. They wanted the Congress tag on them to be completely erased because they were scared that Congress tag will be a burden on them.
You know, isn't that true, Mr. Narayan Swamy? Generally, that there is a sense that anti-incumbency has set in Puducherry. There were questions over your style of leadership. There were from your own party men, many of whom felt that they should have been chief minister, not you. You were paratroop from Delhi because you were close to 10 Janpat. They made the allegation that your battle with Kiran Bedi meant administration was not being carried out effectively. Therefore, before the election, according to Mr. Narasimha Rao, they have chosen what they believe is the winning party.
I think you got the wrong information. In 2016, I was elected by the elected MLAs.
No, you were.
After,
but
1 minute.
there were MLAs who had their own
out-
aspirations.
Out of 15 MLAs, 14 voted for me.
Yes.
I was elected in a democratic way. There may be contest, but who gets a majority will be the chief minister. It is not that I've been parachuted or I've been sent by the leadership. I tell you one thing. The
Sir, Mr.
BJP,
Mr. Namasivayam, your minister who left you and has now joined the BJP, he wanted to be the chief minister. He apparently told some people Narayan Swamy has become because he's close to the Gandhi Nehru family.
No. Because who is to get the support of the MLAs? Out of 15 MLAs, 14 supported me. He is the only single man who got his vote. How can he be elected as chief minister?
Okay.
It's a democratic way. Nobody can impose the chief minister without the will of the MLAs.
Sir, but I want to ask you, Mr. Narayan Swamy, you are a senior Congress leader. Do you accept something is wrong with your party also, that a leader like a Jyotiraditya Scindia chooses to leave, a leader like Sachin Pilot almost left, in Goa, the entire legislature party almost has left and joined the BJP. Should you get your house in order also while attacking the BJP for being power hungry and misusing the agencies?
No. Some of the Congress leaders, they are power hungry. They wanted to go anywhere to enjoy power. Those people you cannot stop. But a person who is a loyalist, whether he is from the Congress party or any other political party, whether in a difficult time or when the party is ruling, when he remains loyal, he is a true person. This is the, in fact, when you are enjoying power, when the one political party is in power, and thereafter you are going to another political party looking for another opportunity.
Do you think, therefore, the anti-defection law, which was framed during Rajiv Gandhi's time in the 1980s, needs to be re-looked at? Because now we have wholesale defections and, interestingly, retail defections where 2 or 3 MLAs defect and resign and get re-elected.
Yeah.
As a result, do you think...
There is something wrong with the anti-defection law. I agree with you. Any person who has been elected from a particular political party, till his term ends, up to 5 years, he should not join any other political party. If he joins,
he's free to join. Maybe he should not be allowed to contest an election.
No, it is not like that. His membership to be removed immediately. Unless until it is done, this kind of defection, this kind of poaching by BJP, the using money power, and also the power at the center is going to happen.
GVL,
let all political
GVL, do you
parties
think,
join together to do it.
GVL, do you think also time has come to relook at the anti-defection law? Why should the voter have to again go and vote for the same person 6 months, 12 months later? Look at the amount of money that is spent on the exchequer. And let's be clear, elections are about money power. The buzz is that that the payment for defections varies from 10 crores to 20 crores.
Rajdeep, what Dr. Swamy said, I think in the name of political loyalty, you cannot create a culture of political slavery. So somebody had joined the Congress party and I will make him a slave to the dynasty and he will have to die in Congress as a congressman. Whatever happens to the Congress.
Which political party has more slaves? You know that.
So therefore, every individual has a democracy. You see, it's working very well.
So should they not be allowed, should the rule be, you are free to join any party you want, but you cannot contest an election for the term of that assembly.
So that's a proposal you have made.
What do you think of it?
No, I think ideal would be, I think even possibly a constitutional amendment. I'm making a personal observation as an election expert, election analyst. I think if you if the single largest party having the largest number in the assembly will remain in power even if it's in a minority government, if he can come up with such a requirement, then there would not be a need. You come together and make a majority government, well and good. If you cannot do it, a minority government also should be allowed to continue in office. Then you don't need anybody to join.
Much like the German model, where if you want to...
Yes, German. So there is a security not just for the MLA. The entire assembly's 5-year tenure remains secure, and whoever has the biggest numbers will remain in the office. If we can do that, I think it would obviate the need for anyone to really switch.
Mr. Narayan Swamy?
No, but
That's a good idea.
No, I got a very, very simple analogy. If a person who has been elected from a particular political party, if he defects from their political party, his membership ceases on the day when he defects.
Membership of the assembly.
It is happening
So
even
he's
now.
happy.
They are resigning and going.
He will resign, get re-elected.
No, he resigning?
He loses his membership.
But till the term of that period is over, he should not contest election.
Okay.
That should be the.
I don't know whether that should be,
that should be the bottom
legally
line.
tenable. Whether it's whether it will be tenable. But as an idea.
But morally, ethically, it's a good idea.
Better would be, it certainly is an idea. So that, but then you see, all this is happening because there is political instability. You need to find an answer to the instability rather than fix one cog in the wheel.
I agree,
the real
sir, but-
problem is minority governments. So if you can allow minority governments to remain in office, unless somebody shows a better number by coming together.
Sir, but in Arunachal Pradesh, you toppled a majority government. You actually bought the entire assembly from one side. They all moved from Congress to BJP.
Have you not seen
Out of
political
60
parties?
MLAs, 58 have been shifted.
No, have you not seen political parties merging together? What if one
Merger is
legislature
different.
party?
Where is the
No,
merger?
there is no change. Arunachal Congress party in Arunachal is almost like an independent entity. They together decide, we will join another party. What's wrong with it? It's like a political merger.
So let me, in conclusion, ask both of you. Puducherry, Mr. Narayan Swamy, if I come back to your lovely state on the 3rd of May, will you be smiling in the way you are or will you be depressed?
See, I tell you one thing. In Puducherry, now the election process started. I am confident that our Congress DMK alliance will emerge victorious in spite of all the manipulations, misuse of power, using money power by BJP, which the people of Puducherry know. In fact,
So you are
people of
saying you will
Puducherry, they totally reject, people will reject the BJP in Puducherry state. And I would like to make one point clear. How the speaker was threatened, I take only 1 minute for that. There is a clear provision in the act for moving confidence motion. Congress has got 12 MLAs, Congress and DMK, after the defection of those places. The BJP with the nominated MLAs, BJP, 3 nominated MLAs, NR Congress and ADMK, they got 12 MLAs. With the nominated MLAs, elected government was removed. The Supreme Court direction says very clearly that for the budget and also for no confidence motion, they have got power. But when we move a confidence motion, they have no power to vote against the government. But that Supreme Court ruling was also misused.
So you're saying the speaker's office, your own party speaker, he's your party, he's a Congress party member, his office too was misused. Are you confident that Puducherry will be, in a sense, a breakthrough moment on the 2nd of May, Mr. Narasimha Rao, because the BJP has never shared power also in that state?
The only Congress government in the south has evaporized, and we will have a 3/4 majority, at least a 3/4 majority NDA government with BJP participation once the results are announced. And Dr. Swamy is still stuck in events of the past. He's not even looking forward. He's almost conceded defeat because I think he himself did not.
I am confident. I am telling you,
he himself
he will come back to power.
No, he himself did not go for the confidence vote. I think before the actual vote was cast,
I tell you,
he actually quit.
The Honorable Home Minister came. I take half a minute. Honorable Home Minister came to Karaikal for public election campaign. He was telling the central government gave 15,000 crores for Puducherry. In that, Narayanasamy took a cut. And the remaining went to Gandhi family. This kind of utter lies. to the people of the state. I sent a letter to the election commission.
No, Swamiji, people know
they
what
want
the
this
truth
kind of-
is. People
this
know
kind
what
of-
the truth is.
Okay, sir, you
I
will
think we have
answer
seen,
these-
false
Govindaraju's
allegation-
diaries in
false
Karnataka.
allegation. Where is the proof for 15,000
No, Mr.
crores?
Swami, every state.
Money is being sent to the
Sir,
state government.
Sir, I have to call time out because you have made an allegation saying Karnataka BJP leaders came in choppers with bags.
No,
full
we
of
have
money,
no.
and
We
they
are a
have made-
national. No, come
and-
on.
No,
So
one
were you?
minute. And
No,
they-
one second,
and
Rajdeep.
now-
Let me answer that. See, we are a national party. We have leaders from every state. I came to Tamil Nadu for the election of a state president. I went to Kerala, and we have Karnataka leaders coming to Puducherry as moderators. So how can you
No,
have a
Home Minister of the
problem with
country
that?
making a charge.
Sir, the Home Minister of the country has made a charge.
And-
you have
and-
made a charge. These are all unproven charges.
No.
All I can say-
People know what you see. Let's not
the-
underestimate
let the people
intelligence of the common man.
Agreed,
They
sir.
know it's a corrupt government, and that's the reason why they are losing it.
Now, if it is a current
otherwise
government,
should
we are
win.
a central government, why you didn't take action against me? I'm
Mr.
ready to face
Mr.
everything.
Swami,
Why you have not done it?
Mr.
Why
Swami,
you are telling it
you
is the current
can,
government?
if you wish, you
Ma-
can make
making
it
a
an
public
election
platform
agenda,
teaching
but it will
intelligence.
hurt you more.
Okay.
If Narayan Swami government, Narayan Swami was corrupt.
There
you
are
did
several
not-
allegations,
Why you are a
Swamiji.
central government, you are the home minister, you are a prime minister. Why you are not taken action against me? I'm prepared for any kind of probe.
Okay.
Please ask that in the elections. Let our government
Okay.
come and they'll take a decision.
Okay.
And don't make false allegation against the
You are,
chief minister of the
saying,
state.
you are saying if you come to power, you will probe
No,
Mr.
if he is
Narayan Swami.
wanting a probe into any of those
Why they
allegations,
did
we
not
will,
do being in
we
the
will
central
happily
government?
carry it
Okay,
out.
let's leave it there.
We will make it our
clearly
agenda.
the tranquil lands, the beautiful state of or union territory of Puducherry is heating up. And the heat has only just begun, Mr. Narayan Swami. You need to save your voice for the campaign.
I tell you, BJP leaders will not sleep
Okay.
until they bring the name of Gandhi
Okay.
family. This
Okay.
has become the
No,
mental
until-
state.
until we have a government in Puducherry,
Sir, we have to end
elected
time.
through
Sir, we
people.
are well over. We have to end time. It's been fascinating listening to you all because it shows that politics is still alive and the spirit of politics is still very much there when we have two combative leaders opposing each other. Thank you both very much for joining us here at the India Today
Thank you
conference.
for giving us
Thank you.
opportunity.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.